Hey guys, what's going on? Darren here, and welcome back to the F1 22 My Team Career Mode. And this time, we're at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. If you haven't checked out last round, go back, go check it out. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone was, well, it was an interesting race for us. It was one that unfortunately ended with a DNF. As you can see there, we had a red turbocharger. And that's because our turbocharger failed at Silverstone. And it meant that with that, Sergio Perez has now taken the lead of the Drivers' Championship, and we are just behind him with Lando Norris not too far behind us in the Drivers' Championship. But we're going to dive now right into qualifying. We're going to get straight into things with qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix, because it is of course a sprint race weekend, and with it being a sprint weekend, it means that we have got a sprint race and the main Grand Prix on top of qualifying here today. So yeah, let's get straight into qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. Now, just before I talk about too much about what's happening, I just want to say a huge thank you, guys. A huge thank you for the last video that I released, the one where I drove one car from every single decade. It was incredible. It's been so well received by you guys, and I'm just absolutely blown away by how well it's been received. To all the new viewers who have come from that video, who've subscribed to the channel, thank you all so much for subscribing, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the content that I do have to bring your guys' way, because I've got a lot of F1 content to bring you guys' way, especially over the winter break. Easy for me to think of the word there. Yeah, got lots of content to bring over the winter break, and I've got a lot more F1 22 content to bring as well. We've got more My Team Career Mode, and when next season gets underway, we're going to have so much content to make as well. So yeah, thank you all so much for viewing that video. Thank you for just being awesome. So yeah, huge thank you, guys. Now, back to this, and qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. And as you can see, things are not looking very good for us. We've already done a banker lap, and that banker lap was good enough for P20. We have the fastest car in the field, so to only be down in P20 is a bit of a disaster. Now we're going around the final corner. We're going to improve. Where we're going to improve to, though, it's only P19. And that's not very good, but we're going now to the end of qualifying, and we've got a car diving down the inside, and that kind of forces a little bit wide, and that is the end of our qualifying. Yeah, we're down at the back, but now it's time for the sprint race.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Sainz, Prost, Daniel Ricciardo, and Hamilton, Perez, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, and Pierre Gasly, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher, Esteban Ocon, and Albon, Stroll, Tsunoda, Kevin Magnussen, and Oscar Piastri, Teo Pourchaire, Joe, Bennett, and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint.
Well, thankfully, we at least beat the GOAT. We're ahead of Latifi, so it's not the end of the world. We're ahead of one man. Anyway, it's time now for the sprint, and it's lights out and away we go. As you can see, we've actually opted for the hard compound tyres for this sprint race. So for the people that are new to the channel who don't know, we do have a tyre wear mod installed for this My Team Career Mode in Season 3. And that does severely increase the tyre wear as I actually just drive off track. I don't really know what I was doing there. But with the increased tyre wear, I have decided to go for the hards and save a set of mediums for the Grand Prix. And you can see we've got cars going very, very slowly here. And there's front wing everywhere. And the safety car's being deployed on the first lap. Something's happened. We're going to take a look here. It's the Williams of Albon. Albon's run into the back of an Alpine. And that has broken his front wing. And that has brought out the safety car. And now we go towards the end of lap number 2. Let's take a look. There's Piastri. Yes, Oscar Piastri. His engine has failed. And so we're going to go past him. So we've already seen Alex Albon break his front wing. And now we've just seen Oscar Piastri retire from the race. And the Grand Prix is about to get back underway. And there's a car pulling off to the side of the track. And that's Alain Prost. Things are barely getting underway here. We've not even done a lap of racing, and we've got 3 cars out, well, 2 cars out of this race, and another car pretty much out of it. It's chaos here as the Grand Prix finally gets back underway. The sprint race gets back underway. And, well, we're doing very little racing. We've actually managed to find ourselves up in P14 from a P20 start. So thank you, Oscar Piastri and Alain Prost, for breaking down as we go into turn 3, and we're going to go down the inside of Lance Stroll with a beautiful dive there, down the inside, full send past him, and that is us now up to P13. Thankfully, it is a sprint race, so we could take full advantage of this sprint race. We really needed this sprint race because our qualifying was so bad. We're going to make the most of this sprint race to try and get ourselves as far up the field as possible. And, well, as much as I do hate the sprint race, I've got to say this weekend I'm glad we do actually have a sprint race, because without that sprint race the Grand Prix could have been long and very difficult. But now we have a good opportunity to actually start, to save our weekend with a sprint race and get a good start for the Grand Prix. And you can see we are doing just that as we go to lap number 7. That is us going past Yuki Tsunoda and up to P11, which is not bad to say. We started in P20. And I've got to say, a big reason for this is because we are on the hard compound tyres. Like I said, we do have a tyre wear mod installed for Season 3. And I think that tyre wear mod is really starting to come into its own now. Because you can see the guys on the medium tyres are just starting to struggle with their tyres. And I don't know if you can see that, but at the end of turn 1, there was some debris on track. And let's see as we go to turn 3, there's even more debris. There's been huge contact there between 3 cars. And you can see as we go towards the end of lap number 8, Schwartzman's diving into the pits. We've got a Red Bull in the pits as well. I think that's Max Verstappen in the pits. So there's Schwartzman in the pits. Is Verstappen? Yeah, Verstappen in the pits. And Perez. It's both Red Bulls in the pits. So we've got 1 Mercedes and 2 Red Bulls in the pits. And more importantly for that, Sergio Perez leading the World Championship. He's in the pits. He's going to be at the back of the grid for the main Grand Prix. Not only is he at the back of the grid for the main Grand Prix, but he's not going to score any points in this sprint race. And we have just gained 4 places in a matter of corners due to the 2 Red Bulls and the Mercedes diving into the pits and us getting past Mick Schumacher. And we dive now to the end of the sprint race. This is the final lap in the sprint race. And we're going to finish P6 if we can get past Alonso. And we do. We're going to go straight down the inside past Alonso. And that is us finishing the sprint race. An excellent P6. What a recovery drive. And that is perfect for the Grand Prix, which we're going to dive into right now. So it's P6 for the Grand Prix.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. Not long to go before our drivers hurtle off the line and into the first turn, the Niki Lauda curve. It was renamed in 2019 in memory of one of Formula One's most beloved figures. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of around 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill of turn 3. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Carlos Sainz yesterday puts him in pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Hamilton, Daniel Ricciardo, Bennett, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Mick Schumacher, and Kevin Magnussen. Stroll, Théo Pourchaire, Pierre Gasly, and Perez. Albon, Schwartzman, Guan Yu Zhou, and Max Verstappen. Ocon, Latifi, Prost. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Oscar Piastri. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
So here we go then. P6 for the Austrian Grand Prix. We're all starting on soft compound tyres. And it's lights out, and away we go, and we get off to a shocking start. That is a terrible start. That's one of our worst starts for quite a while. And we've been hit from behind. We've been hit from behind. That's Yuki Tsunoda's run into us. And the safety car's being deployed instantaneously. Or the virtual safety car, I should say, is being deployed instantaneously. But take a look at this from Tsunoda's perspective. Tsunoda, he turns left, he turns right into us. Yuki Tsunoda turns into us, pitches us into a spin, breaks his front wing, the VSC comes out, and at the end of lap number 1, Tsunoda's in the pits with a broken front wing, and we are up to P8, and we got a good, actually we're down to P8 I guess, but we did get a good launch at the restart, so we were a couple of seconds back from Schumacher, but because we were able to get a good launch, You can see that by the end of turn 1, we're only 0.8, 0.9 of a second behind Mick Schumacher. So that is great for us that we were able to get that good launch out to the final corner, because we were able to close back up to the back of the Haas. And you can see we've already got a bit of a train forming here, because if you can look on the minimap, the McLaren of Lando Norris is pulling away at a rapid rate of knots. But the Ferrari of, I believe it's Carlos Sainz, is holding up quite a few cars here. And me being one of those cars. But for me, it's a good thing that this is happening, because it means that I have been able to catch up very quickly to the back of the Haas of Mick Schumacher. And I have a feeling that if we get a good exit from here, we could maybe take a look down the inside of Mick Schumacher into the penultimate corner. Can we do it? We're going to go down the inside past Mick Schumacher. But we do run very, very wide. So we back off and give Mick Schumacher the position so that he can at least have the place back. But on the exit of the final corner, and we go now down the inside into turn 1. Can we get Mick Schumacher down the inside? Yes, we can. That is us. Up to P7 in this Grand Prix. Next up for us is Mr. Eyebrows, Fernando Alonso. And we get through and we catch up to Alonso. We're going to go for a move down the inside into turn 3 straight away. And yes, straight away, as soon as we get to the back of Alonso on lap number 6, through we go down the inside past Fernando Alonso. That is us now up to P6 in this Grand Prix. Next up for us is Daniel Ricciardo in the McLaren. Now in this My Team Career Mode, McLaren is a very, very fast car, which can be seen by the fact that Lando Norris is leading this Grand Prix and leading it quite comfortably as we go to the end of lap number 7. You can see that we had a couple of guys diving into the pits as we go now towards the end of lap number 8. And now we're going to dive into the pits as well. Lando Norris is in the pits and Carlos Sainz all deciding to dive into the pits. So here we go then. This is the first of 2 stops. We're going to go from the softs to the medium compound tyres. Out goes Norris. He's on a set of mediums. Sainz goes to the mediums as well. And in we go. And Charles Leclerc is out of the Grand Prix. And Fernando Alonso. That means, yes, the safety car has just been deployed. And let's take a look at what's happened to Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso. So here we go, we're on the replay. This is Charles Leclerc. He's hit the back of the Mercedes of Robert Schwartzman. Pitched Schwartzman into a spin there. Let's take a look at that. He gets hit and absolutely, spun around by the contacts. And we got another car off there. I believe that's Fernando Alonso. And I have a feeling Alonso crashed with someone else. He didn't hit Leclerc. No, he didn't. Fernando Alonso hits the Williams there as he was trying to go down the inside on Ricciardo. So out of the Grand Prix is Charles Leclerc and Fernando Alonso. And we go now to lap number 11, and the Grand Prix is just getting back underway. And I'm barely having the time to think here. This Grand Prix is absolutely wild. Hit the like button, guys, if you are enjoying this video, because this race so far has been complete and utter chaos. Anyway, we go now to the end of lap number 12, starts at lap 13. You can see we're right up the back of Lewis Hamilton. And we're going to look now for a move maybe down the inside into turn 1. Are we going to go for it? Yes, we are. Boom, down the inside. Past Lewis Hamilton. That is us now up to P number 3 in this Grand Prix. Now to say we ended qualifying in P21, we are now P3 in the Grand Prix. It has been an incredible recovery drive. And as I said before, it's all thanks to the sprint race this weekend, really helping us out in this Grand Prix. Now we go to lap number 17 and through we go there right around the outside of Carlos Sainz with a beautiful move there to get past Sainz, and that puts us now up to 2nd place in this Grand Prix. Up next is the last man, and that is Lando Norris. If we can get past Norris, we'll take the lead of this Grand Prix, which will be absolutely incredible. But you can see there as we get the exit for turn 3, Carlos Sainz, he's coming back at us, and Sainz down the inside. Through he goes. Carlos Sainz retakes 2nd place. And there's literally not much we can do about that. Sainz with a beautiful move with the DRS, able to get back down the inside, retake the position. He's back up to P2. And we're back down to P3. That is not ideal. But you can see it now, we're sticking with him. And we're going to get the DRS on Carlos Sainz. And what are we going to be able to do here? Are we going to be able to get him down the inside maybe into turn 1? See if we can get him and make it stick this time around. Here we go then with the DRS and the ERS. We've got the ARS to overtake. We're going to go right around the outside of Sainz. Can we make it stick? No, we can't. We run deep. We run deep, and that means that Sainz is able to get back down the inside and retake the position. But we're going to try once again. Neither of us got DRS, and we're going to go around the outside of Sainz if we can make it stick. No, we can't, but we're going to get the DRS this time on Carlos Sainz. And maybe this time, if we can get a good exit, and well, we didn't get a good exit, and we skip now to the end of lap 20 and start of lap 21. Sainz is in the pits, Norris is in the pits, we run wide at turn 1. We weren't able to get back past Sainz, which was very surprising for us. And that means now I think we're going to be behind Sainz when we come out of the pits here, because, yeah, he's got the undercut to get on a fresh set of hard tyres. Into the pits we go then, and we're going to go into the hard tyres now, but Sainz with an extra lap of fresh, hard compound running is surely going to open up the gap to us. And guys, I just want to say, just as I said before, if you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already, because we have got a lot more F1 content to bring your guys' way. Now back to this race. And here we go now, out to the pits, and there is Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz right around the outside, takes the position, and Sainz back up to second place. We're down to third, but as you can see, it's kept to lap 25. We've managed to slowly but surely whittle down that gap to Carlos Sainz. We finally caught up to the back of Sainz, and here we go now with the DRS. So we're going to go right around the outside. Yes, we do. Through we go round the outside of Carlos Sainz, and that is us now up to second place. We need to get a good exit though from this corner. If we can get a good exit, we might finally be safe from Carlos Sainz, and we do get a good exit, and that is us finally now on lap 25 up to second place in this Austrian Grand Prix. And you can see now as we go to the end of lap 28, start to lap 29, the Williams of Alex Albon is out of the Grand Prix, and we go now into turn 1, and we run deep, but we spin. What happened there? We spin. I think we got caught on the curb there. Either that or there was a bump on the outside. Let's take a look. Was there a bump? Yes, there is. We got unsettled over the sausage curb and then over a bump, and we just unsettled the car and spun it around. Carlos Sainz goes back through once again. So once again, we're back down to P3 in this Grand Prix. And now Max Verstappen finds a way through. And actually, we go from P3 down to P4. A disaster for us here in Austria. Max Verstappen finds a way through past us, and we are down now to 4th place in this Grand Prix. But we go now to lap 30, and look at this. We've caught back up to the back of Max Verstappen, and if we can stick with him, I think with the DRS we do have a faster car than the Red Bull here today. Max Verstappen stopped very early for hard compound tyres, it has to be said, and because of that, because he stopped early for those hard tyres, you know, his tyres I think are about 3 or 4 laps older than mine, and because he stopped so early, that means that he is going to be struggling on those hard tyres versus us on our fresher hard tyres, especially with this tyre wear mod, making the tyre wear much more aggressive, and meaning that staying out and having the fresher tyres is much more important. And you can see we tried to go down the inside, but Verstappen got a good run there and was able to get back past us, and Verstappen now has the DRS, and Verstappen, is he going to be able to keep 3rd place, or are we going to be able to go down the inside? Later on the brakes we go down the inside, past Verstappen we go. We give him a little bit of a nudge, but we don't push him off track. He's still on track, so it's a fair move. And through we go then past Max Verstappen, and that is us now back up to 3rd place in this Grand Prix. That is us now up to 3rd place here at the Red Bull Ring. And what a good result that will be for us. And we go now to the end of the Austrian Grand Prix. Lando Norris dominates the Grand Prix from Sainz in 2nd, and we recover to finish in 3rd place. It's a podium here at the Red Bull Ring.
What a superb victory. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I guess Anthony hasn't got much to say there about Lando Norris's result. It was a great result for Lando. I think it's just left Anthony Davidson a little bit speechless.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure. And no doubt, they'll be celebrating tonight.
So it's victory for Lando Norris, a much needed victory. It's been a while since he won a Grand Prix, and this could be exactly what he needs to get his championship back underway. And now, with him winning and a Ferrari in second, Carlos Sainz. Sainz has also had a difficult few races, so for him also, it's great to see the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz doing well and getting on the podium. So we're going to take a look now at the results. It's Lando Norris who wins the Austrian Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz finishes in second place. We finish in third. Max Verstappen fourth. Sergio Perez in P5. Daniel Ricciardo P6. Mick Schumacher P7. Kevin Magnussen in P8. Our teammate Prost in P9. And Théo Pourchaire rounds out the top 10. And you can see in this Grand Prix, we actually had a mixture of 2 and 3 stops. The AlphaTauris went for 3 stops. The Mercedes was on a 3 stop. The Alpines were on a 3 stop as well. So, yeah, a big mixture of strategies here today in this Grand Prix. And it was such a good race. And you can see here, also Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton not scoring any points. Has gone out to the Drivers' Championship. We retake the lead of the Drivers' Championship with Lando Norris just 1 point behind us in second place. And Sergio Perez drops to third place in the Drivers' Championship, and Alain Prost is in fourth. In the Constructors, as you can see, Pulse Motorsports is still leading the Constructors' Championship. So you can see before we start the next Grand Prix, we do have to renegotiate, hard for me to say there, renegotiate our contract deal with our teammate, and of course we're going to keep Prost. Prost is an incredible driver. We're going to go for the low risk offer and keep Alain Prost. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, as always, please comment, leave a like, and if you already, of course, subscribe to the channel for more F1 content. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for the French Grand Prix. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.